everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. As you can very clearly see, I've been playing with the teardrop shaped cabochons that I got in my recent order from Beebeecraft. And I'm going to try to bezel one today on video. In case you're not familiar, Beebeecraft is an online craft supply store. They have lots of beads and binding and jewelry making supplies. If you have a channel and you have at least 100 subscribers, you can apply to be in their YouTube program and get products and do tutorials for them. I'll post a link in the description box below to that program so you can check it out if you want to. They offer free shipping for orders over $25. I have a coupon code. It's Teresa10, and I'll put it on the screen here and in the description box below. It'll save you 10% off your order if you make an order with them. I'll put links to these stones that I got in the description box below, and I'll put links to everything else I'm using if I can find them. And I'll also link the Beebeecraft homepage in the description box below in case you decide you want to go over there and look around and check it out. So these are the Honey Handy pointed back faceted glass rhinestone cabochons that I got. They were $50 in the package, and they're teardrop shaped, of course. They were mixed colors. They're 13 by 18 millimeter. And they were $3.70 for all 50 of them. These were the first pair I made. And they're a black, they're not solid black. They remind me of that black diamond color. These do, I don't know. And I used black 11-0 delicas and galvanized silver delicas. And then I used little 15-0 galvanized silver seed beads on the inside here. And I sewed a couple of links of chain into the top there and attached my ear wire. And these are the only ones I did that way. I like using the chain, but I don't have any small chain that's soldered. So these links have a little slit in them. And I don't think it's going to come out because I put three pieces of thread through there. I went around that bead that I've got it attached to 3 times. So if one piece of thread were to come out, the others would hold it. But I decided not to do the rest of them that way. So those were the only ones that I did like that. The rest of them I did a wire guard at the top. So these are the green ones. This is a deep emerald green color. And I used some emerald green delicas and some Durcoat galvanized champagne delicas, 11-0s. And then on the inside I used 15-0 Durcoat galvanized seed beads for the inside there, and on the back too, to enclose the stone. And then at the top here I used a couple of little 15-0s and one 11-0 Durcoat galvanized champagne, and then put the wire guard on and attach my ear wire like that. And that's what I did with all the rest of these. And then I've got some red ones here that I did the same way with some red 11-0 delicas and galvanized champagne galvanized silver 11-0 delicas and galvanized silver 15-0s on the inside. And I attached that ear wire the same way. And then I have these blue ones that I did the same way with some blue 11-0 delicas and some Durcoat galvanized champagne delicas and some Durcoat galvanized champagne 15-0s on the inside. And I attached the wire guardian the same way on the top there. I would probably keep these and wear them myself because this is my birthstone, but my ears are not pierced anymore, so I can't do that. And then my brilliant idea was that I was going to do these on video with you all, because I thought that I could use 2 different colors of 15-0s in these, bronze and gold, which is what I did. And I thought you'd be able to see that easier because all these others I used the same color seed bead, same color 15-0s on all the way. And I thought you'd probably be able to see it better if I switched up the colors of seed beads. And I failed to appreciate how well bronze and gold blends in with one another. There's no way you could have seen what I was doing. I could barely tell what I was doing. So that was an idea I had to cast aside because the stone in this one is kind of a champagne color. And then I used light bronze 11 Delicas and Durcoat galvanized champagne Delicas. And then on the inside I used Durcoat galvanized champagne 15Os and some dark bronze 15Os. But they blend so much together that there's just no way you could have seen what I was doing. And then I just attached the ear wire at the top the same way as I did with all these others. So I dug through my little bag again and found this color of, it's a lighter color green than that other green I showed you. And this is what I'm going to try to make the mate to today. I've already made this one and I'm going to try to make the other one today. And I used some green colored 11 Delicas and some silver 11 galvanized silver 11 Delicas. And then for the 15Os, I used silver and gold and switched them up. I don't know that that's going to really help a lot in you being able to see what I'm doing, but I hope it is. I went back and forth on whether to put them on gold ear wires or silver ear wires because I've got gold and silver both in there. I finally settled on gold because gold is at the front more, and I guess you could see it more. I don't guess it really matters. I don't mind mixing metals, but I don't usually do it. I've been to do that all the time in necklaces and things. I don't mind at all, but I don't usually do it on earrings. But this is what I'm going to do today. This one, the matching one to this one. So hold on, let me get my stuff that I need to do this with, and I'll be back. Okay, these are the materials I'm going to be using today. That doesn't take a lot. I've got my stone, and I've got my ear wire and my wire guard. I've got my green Delicas. These are green / lime is the color. And then I've got my Durcoat galvanized silver 11 Delicas that I'm going to use. These are 15 galvanized gold seed beads Miyuki, and these are 15 galvanized silver Miyuki seed beads. I've got a couple of size 11 tulip beading needles. I'm not going to need that extra one to add on thread because this doesn't take much thread. It only takes about 2.5 feet of thread for each earring. But I will use that second needle to sew my tail in when I get a few rows on, because it's always kind of irritating to have to work around a tail, but it really irritates me to have to work around one in as small a project as this. So I'm going to sew my tail in as soon as I can. And I've got my 8-pound fire line and smoke. It might be better, you can use 6-pound fire line, and it might be better to use 6-pound fire line. I'm just used to using the 8-pound, and it feels weird to me. The 6-pound fire line feels so thin to me that it just feels weird. I did all these with the 8-pound fire line, but since we're going through 15Os, it might be better if you want to use the 6-pound fire line. And like I said, smoke, I think I said that. And as with the needles, it might be better to use a size 12 beading needle if you want to instead of an 11. I just don't like trying to thread a size 12 beading needle. I'm pretty sure I've got some size 12 beading needles around here, but I don't know where they would be because I just always use size 11. And of course, I use my chain nose pliers to flatten my thread to get it through the needle, and my scissors to cut my fire line with. And I'm also going to be using this little rubber thimble here because I have made so many of these that I have hurt myself. My finger there is calloused and very tender and sore where I have made so many of these. I should have been using this the whole time, and then I wouldn't have to use it on video here with you all, but I didn't, and I have caused my finger to really be hurting here. So I'm going to use this so that, because that's where I push the needle through. Right there on that finger is where I push my needle through, and that's why it's got like that. And it's just really hurting now when I push it through. So I'm going to be wearing this when I do this today. I think that's everything. So hold on, let me get some of these beads poured out and I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to get started here. And I forgot, I've also got one size 11 Durcoat galvanized gold seed bead that I'm going to use when I put the wire guard on. Of course, you know, you'll need two to do both earrings. So my little thimble on here. I've got my needle threaded. I'm leaving about a 6 or 8 inch tail, just enough to sew in. And I've got 40 delicas, 40 green delicas on my thread here. Whenever you're bezeling a stone like this, that is a common shaped and sized stone that is really made to be bezeled, you can Google how many delicas does it take for a 13 by 18 millimeter stone, and you can find whatever the count is. How many delicas does it take to bezel a 14 millimeter Rivoli, and you can find how many delicas it takes. But for a 13 by 18 millimeter like this, it takes 40 to start out with. If you're doing a different size stone that's not a common size stone, you just kind of have to figure out for yourself through trial and error how much it takes. But since this is a common size and shape of stone, it's going to take 40. And this is a peyote bezel. I did not invent the peyote bezel. There are lots of videos out there on how to do a peyote bezel. I'm just going to do one here. And this is just a very basic bezel. You can get a little fancier with it than what I'm going to do, but this is just a basic bezel here. So I've got 40 delicas on my needle here, or on my thread here. I'm going to sew back through from the beginning here. I'm going to sew through several. A lot of people just sew through one right after the stop bead, but I can't get it tight enough when I do that. I'm not going to sew back through all these, but I'm going to sew back through several because it's just easier for me to keep good tension on it like I need to do this, to get my first beads to sit next to each other. And this is, like I said, doesn't take much thread, doesn't take very many beads. It's not hard. Now all I'm going to do, I've got my size 11 silver delicas here. I'm going to pick up a bead, one of my silver 11-0s, and I'm coming out this green bead here. I'm going to skip the next green bead and go into the next one. And pull my thread through, and I have to hold my finger over it when I'm pulling it through, and I know you can't see, but I'm going to push my stop bead down to tighten it up so that silver 11-0 I just picked up sits next to the silver 11 or the green 11-0 that I skipped. I'm just going to do that again. I'm going to pick up another silver delica. I'm going to skip the next green delica and go into the green delica after that. Pull my thread through, and that's going to sit that silver delica next to the green delica I skipped. And I'm just going to do that all the way around, picking up a 11-0 delica, skipping the next green delica, going into the green delica after it, pulling my thread through, and that sets my silver delica next to my green delica. Do that one more time, then I'll leave you alone. Do the rest of it off camera. I'm going to skip the next green delica, go into the next green delica after that. And that's all there is to this first row. So I'm going to do that all the way around, and before I get to my step up, I'll come back. Okay, now I'm all the way around. I just need 2 more delicas to put in here. So I'm going to pick up a delica, coming out that green bead there. I'm going to skip the next green bead and go in the next green bead. And then this is my last delica that my last silver delica that I'm going to have to put in, because this is where my step up is. If you have a hard time seeing where your step up is, we started with 40 and we're picking up a bead and skipping a bead, so you know you're going to put 20 on each row. So if you want to count out 20 of your silver delicas and 20 from now on each time, you can do that. So I'm coming out of this green delica here. I'm going to skip that next green delica, go into the green delica after it, And while I'm at it, I'm going to go up into that silver delica there, which is the first one I put on in this round. You don't have to go through both of them at once. If you want to go through one at a time, that's fine. Now, that's just all the delicas I need. Depending on what kind of stone you're doing, most stones that are made to be bezeled like this are fairly thin, and they only need this many delicas. If you're doing like a thicker stone, you might have to do more rows of delicas than what I'm doing. But now I'm going to start pushing this. I'm going to start kind of flattening this here. You can try to go ahead and flatten the whole thing around, but I usually just do it kind of a finger's worth. I flatten a finger's worth there, like that against my finger. And now I'm going to start putting in my gold 15-0s. I've got my gold 15-0s here. You can't see them because I've got them off camera and I've got the camera zoomed in so much. But I'm going to pick up a gold 15-0. And I'm just going to put a gold 15-0 between all these silver delicas that are sticking out. And there goes my tail getting in my way. And as I do this, I'm going to kind of pull inward a little, not hard, just a little bit. Because this is what's going to pull this is going to be the back of my stone. And this is what's going to pull it in so that it'll hold my stone. So I'm going to pick up another 15-0, go through the next silver delica. And just kind of pull inward there a little bit. Pick up another 15-0, go through the next silver delica. And don't get caught around everything. And as I go along here, I'm just going to keep flattening my piece against my finger like that. Pick up another 15-0, go through the next silver delica. And just pull inward a little bit. Not hard, just a little bit. So I'm going to do that all the way around. And when I get done, when I get to my step up, I'll be back. And like I said, if you need to lay out 20 of your little 15-0s, you can do that. And that way you'll know when your step up is. So when I get back around to the other side, I'll be back. Okay, I'm almost back around to my other side now. And I went ahead and put a needle on that tail thread and sewed it in to get it out of my way. And all I did was just sew back and through a few beads like I do with peyote, just crisscrossing my thread until I got it sewed in. It wasn't going to come loose. So I'm just putting a 15-0 between all my silver 15-0s. And I forgot I need my silver 15-0s next, and I didn't pour any out here. Need to do that. So I'm just putting a 15-0 between all my silver delicas here. Now I'm to the last one here. This last one right here, because that's where my first gold delica I put on, gold 15-0 I put on in this round is. So I'm going to go through this silver delica, and while I'm at it, I'm going to go through that gold 15-0. Like I said, you don't have to do it all at once. If you need to do it one at a time, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Now I'm going to go around and I'm going to put some 15-0 silver beads in between these 15-0 gold beads, which I thought maybe you could see better if I switched up the colors, but I don't know if that's going to, if you're going to be able to see that better or not. But this is a 15-0 silver, and I'm just going to put a 15-0 silver between all the 15-0 golds. And as I do it, I'm going to pull inward a little bit. Not hard, just a little bit. Just pick up another 15-0 silver and put it in, sew into the next 15-0 gold. Pull in a little bit. Pick up another 15-0 silver. Go into the next 15-0 gold. pull inward a little bit. Pick up another 15-0 silver, go into the next 15-0 gold, pull inward a little bit. I'm going to do that all the way around. And this might be where you would need to lay out 20 of your silver 15-0s because it gets a little bit harder to see here. But I'm going to go all the way around before I get to my step up. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back around here to my step up now. I just need to put in one more 15-0 silver and pull it out of my hand. I just need to put in one more 15-0 silver right here. I'm going to go into this gold 15-0, and while I'm at it, I'm going to go up into this silver 15-0, which is the first one I put on in this round. That's my step up. Now I'm going to go around again. This time I'm going to switch to my gold. I'm going to pick up a gold 15-0, and I'm going to put a gold 15-0 between all the silver 15-0s. Pull inward a little as I go around. Just pick up a gold 15-0, put it in the silver 15-0s that are sticking up. Pull in a little bit. Go into the silver 15-0 that's sticking up. Pull in a little bit. And that's all I'm going to do all the way around. When I get back around to my step up, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back around here to my step up now. I'm coming out of this little silver 15-0 right here. I've got a gold 15-0 on my needle. I'm going to go into this silver 15-0 that's next. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go up into that gold 15-0, which is the first 15-0 I put on in this round. Now that's all the beads this is going to be the back, and that's all the beads I'm going to put on the back. But I'm going to go around and reinforce this. You don't have to do this part. I don't think I'm going to work my way back to the front now and start working on the front and put my stone in. And I don't think the stone would fall out at this point with this many delicas around the back. But I find that if I don't go around and reinforce this, it's a little loose and it kind of slips around a little bit when I'm trying to work on the front. But it probably just depends. If you're a tighter beater than I am, you probably wouldn't have that problem. And I'm not going to put any beads on my needle. I'm just going to go through these beads 2 at a time until I get all the way around. So I'm going to go through this silver one and this gold one. And to know when I get back around to where I started, I'm going to count. So if I go through 2 beads at a time, I'm going to go around 20 times. If you need to go through 1 bead at a time, of course, you'll be going around 40. You can count to 40. I'm going to count to 20, so I'm going to do that's 1. And I'm going to pull in, and it's just going to tighten it a little bit, where it'll be a little bit tighter around my stone when I put it in. So now I'm going to go into this silver 15-0 and this gold 15-0. That's 2. You always sew on the diagonal so you don't show thread. Go down into this silver 15-0 and up into this gold 15-0. That's 3. Go down into this silver 15-0 and up into this gold 15-0. That's 4. So I'm just going to do that all the way around until I get all the way around. And when I come back, I'll show you how I'm going to work my way back around to the front. Okay, now I'm back around. I've went all the way around here and tightened up my back. And when you're doing this, if you encounter a bead that feels like it doesn't want you to go through it, don't force it. Just find another way around. Like if I wanted to go through these two and I tried to go through them and they were giving me some resistance, I could just go up into this Delica here and then go into that gold one and that silver one and up into that gold one and just bypass those two. You don't want to force it, because if you do, you're very likely to break a bead. And you don't want to break a bead after you've done this. So after you've got this far. So now I'm going to work my way to the front. And I'm just going to sew on the diagonal. I'm coming out of this gold 15-0 here. I'm going to go into this silver 15-0. And up into that gold. Well, I got through all those at once, which is a miracle. That doesn't usually happen. But I'm going through the silver, the gold, and the silver, and the green. Always on the diagonal there. And I'm just going to, okay, that silver bead don't want me to go through it. So I'm not going to go through it. I'm going to go down this gold bead right here. If I can get my needle in there. And it wanted to go through that silver Delica, so I'm going to let it. Pull my thread through. And now I'm going to go up into this green Delica right here, next to it. And I want to be coming out one of these green Delicas that's sticking out there. So I'm going to go through these two green Delicas. So now I'm at the front. So I'm going to take my stone and put it in here. And I'm just going to hold it in here while I'm doing this part. And it's not hard. It's not likely to, like I said, it's not likely to fall out. At this point, so I'm just going to hold my stone in there. And now I'm going to put a silver 15-0 between all my sticking out green Delicas. So I'm going to pick up a silver 15-0 and go into my next sticking out green Delica. And like I did on the front, as I go around, I'm going to kind of pull in a little bit. And I'll pick up another 15-0 silver, go into my next sticking out green Delica. Pull in a little bit. Don't have to pull in hard. And pick up another 15-0, go into my next sticking out green Delica. Pull in a little bit. Pick up another 15-0 silver. Go into my next sticking out green Delica. Pull in a little bit. And that's all I'm going to do until I get all the way back around here to the beginning. And when I get back, I'll be ready to do my step up. I'll be back. Okay, now I'm back to the beginning here. I just like one more silver 15-0. So I'm going to pick up a silver 15-0, go into this sticking out Delica, and while I'm at it, I'm going to go into that first silver 15-0 that I put on in this round. That's my step up. So that's what I've got now. So now I'm going to put in some gold 15-0s between all these silver 15-0s. So I'm going to pick up a gold 15-0. And I'm just going to go into the next sticking out silver 15-0. Pull in as I do this. Pick up another gold. Go into the next silver 15-0. Pull in. Pick up another gold. Go into the next silver. Pull in. And I'm just going to do that all the way around until I get back to the other side, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back around to the beginning. I just like one 15-0, one gold 15-0. And I'm going to go into this next silver 15-0 here. And I'm not going to bother with my step up here because I'm done. I'm not going to put any more beads on the front here. I'm just going to go in that silver 15-0, pull it in. Now if you want to, you can put another round of 15-0s on the front, or you can go through and reinforce the front like I did on the back. I didn't do that with these others, so I'm not going to do it with this one. But I mean, it just depends on how much of your stone you want to show. If you did another round of 15-0s, you know, less of your stone would show, and I like for as much of the stone to show as I can because I think it's pretty. So, so now I'm going to put my wire guard on. And when I do this, I want the 15-0 in my first round to be at the very tip there, at the point, which it is. But if it's not, this will still move. So you can move it around and just move it around a little bit like that, and you can get it at the point there. Because I'm going to, behind this silver 15-0 here is a green delica, and I'm going to sew my wire guard in. I'm going to use this silver delica and this silver delica on each side of this green delica to sew my wire guardian in. So I want this green delica and this silver delica in the center, so that when I sew these, when I use these two to sew my wire guardian in, it'll be centered. And I hope that made sense. So now I'm going to just work my way around until I'm coming out one of these silver delicas that I want to use to sew my wire guardian in. So I'm going to sew through this gold 15-0. And then I'm going to sew into this silver 15-0. And then I'm going to come over here and sew up this green delica. And then I'm going to sew into this silver delica, which is the one I want to be coming out to put my wire guardian on. Because that's the silver delica on either side of the green delica that's at the point here. And when you get done with this, if your point has moved, you can always move it back. So I'm going to I'm going to get my wire guardian here. And I'm going to squish it in as much as I can without destroying it. Now I'm going to pick up two 15-0 gold and my 11-0 gold that I have. I'll go through my wire guardian. Go back down the other channel of my wire guardian. I swear there's always some sort of thread that tries to attack me when I'm doing these videos. It doesn't bother. It doesn't show up when I'm not doing these videos. Now I'm going to go back around the other channel of my wire guardian and back through my 11-0. Hold my finger over the wire guardian so the thread will land in the channel. Now I'm going to pick up two more 15-0s. There it is again. I don't know what that is. Now I started in that gold 15-0 there. I'm going to go into this gold 15-0 on the other side of that green one there that I'm using as my center. And that puts my wire guard on there. Now I'm going to sew around and go back through this again. So I'm going to go up into this green Delica. And here I can either go into this silver 15-0 or this green Delica. If I start trying to go through this silver 15-0 and it's giving me any resistance, I'm gonna switch, but it's not. It's gonna let me go through, so I'm gonna. Okay, maybe it's not. I'm gonna go through this green Delica instead. The Delicas have bigger holes than the 15-0s, so they'll let you go through them more than the 15-0s will. Now I'm going to go up into this green Delica. Now I'm going to flip it around here so I can see better. I'm coming out of this green Delica right here. I'm going to go into this silver Delica that I started putting my wire guard on in. I'm going to go up these two 15-0s. And the 11-0 under the wire guard. Well, yeah. The 11-0 under the wire guardian. If you can't get through all of them at once, you can just do it one at a time or two at a time or ever how many you can do. Now I'm going to go back around my wire guardian. Up one channel, down the other channel, and back through the 11-0 underneath the wire guardian. Hold my finger over the wire guardian. Now I'm going to go back down these two 15-0s on this side. Back into this silver Delica on this side. And now I've got my wire guardian on there. And we're all done. All I have to do is take this thread down through here and sew back and forth through a few beads, crisscross my thread. Coming out this green Delica, I'm going to go up this silver one, back down this green one. Just crisscrossing my thread, at least I think I'm going to. I know that'll let me through there, I've just not got a good angle on it. I'm going to turn it around here. Yeah, there we go. Just keep sewing on the diagonal. If you encounter a bead that doesn't want to be gone through, don't go through it. Now I'm going to go over here and go up this green one. Back down this silver one. I'm going to do this a couple more times, then I'm going to cut off my thread. Okay, so that's good. So I'm going to cut off my thread here. And if you get here and your wire, it has moved and it's not in the center, it'll still move. You can maneuver it around there to get it in the center. But mine still looks like it's pretty well in the center there. So now I'm just going to put my ear wire on. Just pop my ear wire on there. Make sure to get it on the right way, facing the right way. So there we go. Really not hard at all. So hold on, let me get these together and I'll be back. Okay, there's all my earrings that I've made, and these in the front here are the ones we made on camera here today. It's really not hard. Doesn't take a lot of materials. Doesn't take a lot of beads or a lot of thread. And I really enjoy bezeling things, as you all can tell. Like I said, if you decide you want to make an order from Beebeecraft, I'll leave that coupon code in the description box below. It'll save you 10% off your order. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope y'all have a great day. Take care.